My name is Erin Youngs. I'm Joshua Youngs' wife and also VP of Medicare Peace of Mind. I'm here with Lauren Askins.
Hi, everybody.
And I just want to start off with asking Lauren how she juggles her day-to-day life.
I juggle my day-to-day life by keeping a schedule. I have an agenda, and if it's not on there, it doesn't get done. So half of it has every time that I do, and then the other half has things to do with little boxes, and I write the things, and then I get the gratification of checking them off. So that's how I juggle it. But honestly, prioritizing what's important, what needs to be done, because Cody is constantly throwing new things at us and planning a new event or wanting to do something immediately. And when he wants it done immediately, he really means he wanted it done yesterday, even though he's just telling us. So you just have to prioritize what's important and shuffle sometimes. So it might have been important yesterday, well, something new is kind of trumped that. So you just have to think about that. And you have to be good with your time. You have to time manage. So that's how I juggle my day. Plus I also selfishly, there's things that I like to do. So those go on the calendar, like boxing. I box every day at 3:00. So I know that I have X amount of time to get this stuff done. That is a very big priority. And then I go do what I want to do. And then there are times that I do have to say no to something. So it could be something I want to do, but it might not be as important to me as something else. So I do say no because I've got other things I need to do. So the power of no is also a great time manager.
Awesome.
Does that help?
It does. It helps a lot. Do you feel that it's important to leave work at the office?
Work goes everywhere with me in my world. So in the beginning of Cody and I's relationship, it did get under my skin. In the very beginning of him going all in. He's constantly on his phone. I had to learn how to be okay with him always being on his phone and me saying something, him getting a text message and reading it and me having to repeat what I just said. I had to learn to be okay with that because we wouldn't be where we are if he didn't respond. That's something he takes a lot of pride in, is his response time to people. He wants people to know that, hey, if I reach out to Cody, I'm going to get a response very quickly. It's become a thing now, actually. And if that's important to him, it's important to me. So just realizing that, and then also I think it's okay to have days where you have a no phone. We just went on a date the other night, and I was like, hey, Code, we haven't spent a lot of time together, no phones. So we did a dinner with no phone. Did he hate it? Probably deep down. But it was good to just be able to sit there and be and talk without the distractions. So we don't really leave work at home. I work at work. It goes everywhere with us all the time. We don't have kids, so that is a little bit easier in our world because we don't have a baseball game to go to, or basketball or football or whatnot, So that is a little bit different, but we have nieces and nephews, so we go to their games too. So work just goes everywhere with us, and I had to learn to be okay with that. You have to prioritize what are your goals and where you want to go. And our goals are so big that work goes with us everywhere, and that's okay. That's probably not the norm. I'm going to be totally honest. That was probably not the answer you were looking for. I'm going to be totally honest. But it was something we really struggled with in the beginning. I used to get on to him all the time about being on his phone. Cody, put your phone down. Why are you on your phone? What are you doing? And instead of battle it and fight about it, just be okay and learn and grow with it. Figure out how to make that work. So that's where I learned that, I guess. I don't want to nag at him. And we have big goals. Well, we want to help when you want to help every insurance agent in the world, that is so big that you have to be able to give things up. And so when work goes everywhere with us, that was one of those things I gave up. Work goes everywhere, it's fine. That's where my me time comes in, Mm-hmm. So that's why I do the things that I do to kind of escape from that a little bit, but it also teaches me to be tougher. So it all comes full circle.
It is. I've noticed that you and Cody are about empowering people, and you have shown that ladies in this industry might need to have more recognition
Yeah,
and how we should all stick together.
absolutely.
Where does that come from?
There's power in numbers. And I'll talk about it at my ladies' mastermind, but one Clydesdale can pull 8,000 pounds. Two Clydesdales can pull 32,000 pounds. So if we want to make a difference in this industry, us females, because I'm at 8% Nation, I'm not sure if Joshua told you, but when someone asked how many females were there, over half the room stood up. And so I want to go headfirst into that and bring a group of women together where we're fixing each other's crowns instead of tearing each other down and helping each other win. Like, when you're all winning together, it's more fun. And when you win in numbers, like the Clydesdales, you can get a lot done. So I just imagine this world where instead of this dog-eat-dog insurance world that is so cutthroat, that we're all just helping each other win. There's enough people in this world for everybody to help. There's plenty of printed money in the world for everyone to make. Like, it shouldn't be so competitive. It should just be all of us helping each other. And I want to see women helping women reach their goals and doing amazing things, helping other women. Like, it's a legacy. Like, I don't have children, but I have nieces. And I want them to see, like, this powerful group of people helping each other. I don't want them to see this cutthroat bully high school stuff, you know? Like, I want them to see winning, people helping each other. So that's where my mind goes. My mind thinks about the future. What are we doing for the future? Like, because at this point, we gotta make it better.
Absolutely.
So that's why. I want to see us all win. I want to see us winning together, and I want to see us just becoming the best version of ourselves.
You brought up boxing. Do you use boxing as an outlet?
Absolutely. It's I started boxing about 4 months now, and I've worked out all for a very long time. My undergraduate's in physical education. My master's is in health promotion and wellness management. I enjoy exercise. I enjoy helping people learn to love to move. But boxing has taught me that I can do things that I didn't think I could, and that translates into work. So my boxing coach yesterday pushed me so hard. I mean, he's yelling at me because he knew I could do more and I could do better. And that translates into work. So there's confidence that comes from doing things that you didn't think you could that translates into the workforce, for sure. And I'm a leader here. Like, we have 60 employees that expect or rely on us for a paycheck. That is a lot of pressure. So when I put myself in the boxing situation, that pressure teaches me to be better here at work and a better leader here. I can make quick decisions. I can be confident in my decision because I take that pressure of all of them relying on us very seriously. So, yeah.
So we're part of your downline. What do you think is important for us to do to succeed?
I think it's important to do the little things to succeed. I think it's important to surround yourself with people who are like-minded. I think you need to pick a downline. You need to pick an organization, if you're going to be a downline, that has the same values as you and wants to see everybody win. And I mean, not to toot my own horn, but that's what Secure Insurance Group is. SIG is, we want to see everyone win. My father-in-law started it, and he's probably the most giving person I've ever met in my entire life. So that is a core value that we take to heart, is seeing each other win and being teammates. So things that I would say to help a downline agent to win is to do the little things, to test yourself, to push yourself, to, especially with Medicare season coming up.
Yes.
It's a grueling time. Like, so grueling. You all have to put in, I say you all, I mean, I used to write the PPs, and the first year we were doing it, we're all here till 11 o'clock at night submitting applications. Like, it's grueling. It's very hard. It's long hours, but it's worth it because you're helping so many people. So always, like, that's part of the little things, is remembering why you're doing what you're doing, and then remembering to put yourself in uncomfortable situations to make those grueling times easier, if that makes sense.
That does make sense.
Okay. Okay. Sometimes it's hard to, like, explain, but, like, I put myself in tough situations to make those hard times seem easier.
I know it's very important for Joshua and I to make sure that our clients and our agents that we're helping feel like they're in a family environment.
Absolutely.
How do you feel you portray that, or you help people know that you guys are the same? Because that's one of the reasons why we decided to go with you guys, because we felt so welcomed and that this is a team. This isn't a dog-eat-dog world. Like, insurance industry is changing, and we want to help everyone out, because if we help each other out, we help out clients, we help out everyone, like you said earlier. So how do you initially welcome someone in to let them feel?
I'm just me. I think there's power in being genuine. Like, if you don't have to be someone you're not to be liked, or to get a huge agency or whatever. If you're just you're going to attract the right people. And we are who we are, and we believe in what we believe, and we honestly try to show our faith through our agency. That's important. Like, I want people to know that we love Jesus, and so that's important. Like, when you are who you are and you don't have to be someone else, it attracts the right people, and then you are a big family because you have common core values, you have similarities, you believe the same things, and then it is a family. There's no trying or pretending. You're just a family. So that's what we try to do.
What role did you play when you guys were all deciding to start this business?
Funny story. I was actually across the street as an exercise physiology trainer at the Meyer Center. Mr. Bryan decided to start Secure Insurance Group, and Cody and I, it was our first year of marriage, and being newly married and working 12 to 9 p.m. is a disaster. It's just a recipe for disaster. It was horrible. We never saw each other. He worked nonstop. It was just not good. So I made the decision to leave, and I started working for Brian and Patty doing their finances. And that's where the accountant that we had at the time taught me pretty much everything I knew. So I know now, actually. I mean, I'm a PE major doing QuickBooks, you know what I mean? Like, I pretty much went to college again, honestly, if you want me to be serious. Looking back, I wish I would have gone to get my accounting degree, but you don't know what you don't know. So here I am. I've been taught everything that I know when it comes to QuickBooks, and I've gotten pretty good at it. I helped them, and then Cody's started Secure Agent. Well, he started Secure Agent Mentor, and that turned into generating leads for agents, as well as training on YouTube. And from there, it grew, and Cody needed help. So it was hard to leave working for my in-laws because I didn't want them to feel like I didn't want to be there. But at the same time, my husband's my number one. How do I not help my husband when he needs help? So I left working for my in-laws, started helping Cody with our finances and hiring people and managing people. And that's where I really developed the passion for the people who believe in us. Like, Cody has this mission of helping every insurance agent in the world. I have that mission as well because we're a team. But I come into play is where I want to help the people that believe in us and our what we're doing. I want their lives to change. I don't want them living paycheck to paycheck anymore. I want them to find a career with us. I want them to go the distance with us if they want to, you know? So I want to create the environment where they feel that. That's my role.
With you saying you went to college and you're not using your degree, do you recommend
Good question.
and students out of high school to go directly into college, or do you think it's a good idea to just see what's out there?
That is, wow, that's a good question. It crushed my parents that I don't use my degree because they paid for it. I was blessed and fortunate enough that my parents paid for my undergraduate. My master's was paid for, and I got a stipend because I was a graduate assistant teaching physical education at Missouri State University. So all I had to pay for was my books. And looking back on that, I love that I went to college. But in today's world and the way the world is changing, no, I don't think that you have to go to college anymore. If you're going to be a doctor and you're doing open heart surgery, you're on my brain. I need you to go to college. But in certain circumstances, if that's not your passion and that's not your dream, then no, you don't need to go to college. But you also need to be prepared for the real world. Being an entrepreneur is so glorified in today's world that you're not prepared for what really happens. So you're not prepared for that unemployment claim. You're not prepared for that lawsuit. You're not taught. But that stuff's not taught in college either. So it's either you learn it the hard way or you spend X amount of dollars in college. So I don't necessarily think you need to go to college. No, that's probably the unpopular opinion too. Wow, we're going to get a lot of hate on this. We're going to get a lot of hate on this, but I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I don't think you need to go to college. My father-in-law didn't go to college and he's beyond successful. He's one of the smartest individuals I know. Yeah.
I completely agree with you. My husband didn't go to college, and he's very successful. And our oldest just became an agent, so we'll see where he goes.
That's so exciting.
Yeah, we're super excited for him.
You can't teach hard work.
No, you can't. It's either it's installed in someone.
It's what they see
or
growing
they can
up,
learn.
though.
Mm-hmm.
So your oldest saw you two working extremely hard, and like, hey, if I work this hard, I can reap the benefits like my father. So like, it's you just can't teach that. That's seen through your upbringing, mostly. Not every time, but mostly. There are circumstances that's not always true, but you know what I mean?
Cases.
Yes.
Yeah.
It's watching your parents. So that's awesome.
So you and Cody are a part of several different companies,
Yes.
per se.
Yes, we are.
How do you guys decide what your next step is?
Whenever Cody gets a creative idea or Cody gets presented a lot of ideas. I'm going to be totally honest. I don't know how to say this, but people want to be a part of his world. I can't blame him. I wanted to be a part of it the day I met him. You know what I mean? I found my husband on Facebook. I found my husband on a basketball website, and I went and found him on Facebook, and I sent him a message. You know what I mean? Like, there was something about him that I knew I wanted. I knew I wanted to be in his world. So, and that was from the moment I met him. So I can't blame people for want to try to be a part of that. You know what I mean? To present him ideas or things that could be successful and whatnot. So really, it's just Cody's gut. Like, we pray about it, and we trust his gut, and also if you see a need. So Secure Agent Marketing was started because Secure Agent Leads was we started generating leads. And that became so oversaturated that it was having employees and having the cost of leads fluctuates like crazy. So having all of that, it was hard. It was extremely hard. So that's where the concept of Secure Agent Marketing came into play. Like, there wasn't someone who was doing this for agents, and agents need to get their name out there, so they need to be marketing, but they don't have time to market themselves, so hire Secure Agent Marketing to do it. So it just depends on what the need is, and honestly, I trust Cody's gut with anything. So if he has something, he's not let me down yet. Like, if he's got a vision, I trust it. I'd learn that, but I trust it. I used to tell him no. That didn't work out so well.
Yeah, you did mention that earlier. And I feel like when I met Joshua, I learned you have to trust. If you don't trust, you're not going to go anywhere, whether it's with your boss or it's in relationships.
Absolutely. So we have a rule in our office that we're going to be Cody right or Cody wrong. So I will play devil's advocate just to make sure that he's making the right decision. Does that get me in trouble sometimes? Absolutely. But it's coming from a good place because I want to make sure that he's making the best decision. And so once Cody makes the decision, we go with it. And that's just, we're always going to be Cody right or Cody wrong. So that's how I trust him. I've learned to do that. When he makes a decision, he makes the decision. So Cody right or Cody wrong.
I like it.
It's what works. It works. And that way, like, it's not ever, sure, he'll ask opinions of the team. Like, our videographer, Dylan, he will ask Dylan any question with design or videos or anything of that sort. You know what I mean? Like, we know Dylan's talent. So if it has something to do with that, we're going to Dylan. Like, Cody's not making that decision. Does that make sense? So you got to know you have to know where your strengths are and where your weaknesses are.
Do you ever go around asking strengths and weaknesses?
What do you mean?
actually last week, Joshua and he was asking me what his weaknesses were.
Oh.
Because he wants to get someone in the office to take over his weaknesses, to
Perfect.
make him a stronger person.
It's one of the first bullet points in my workbook.
There we go. So is that something you and Cody talk about, or?
Absolutely in the beginning, for sure. And it also, when you are looking to hire someone, if it's something that is draining to you and you don't enjoy doing it, hire it out. You know what I mean? Like, don't let that be a drain. Like, Cody's the visionary. Joshua's the visionary. You and I figure things out. We're the logistics ones. So, if it's something like, if I see something that's draining on him, I'm like, hey, like, let's figure this out. You need an assistant. Like, if it's too much on me, like, you know what I mean? So, if you see something that's draining not only a weakness, but it's not fun to you anymore, you need to get help in that area. So
Absolutely.
then you can do what you're great at, which rises the ship.
Yep.
So that's the way I look at it too. Do we talk about it necessarily? Not as much anymore, but I can tell. Okay, funny story. He didn't work out this morning. And I can tell because he's short. So I make sure, I'm tempted to not let him have Thursdays off anymore because he's more short. He's shorter. The fuse is shorter. He's more direct. So, I see that and I'll just adjust it without him knowing. I'm like, oh, we're going to work out on Thursday. Okay, whatever. You know what I mean? So Those are the kind of things that I do. We don't necessarily have to have a conversation about it. I just have learned that it's best for me and everybody else that this needs to happen and I make it happen. Or if Andy, our COO, if there's something going on that I don't want to be going on anymore, I go to Andy rather than running to Cody because I need him being creative. Andy and I handle everything else. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
So that's kind of the strengths and weaknesses.
Is there anything special that you guys do for new coming agents? Like they just got their license and they're not really sure what to do.
There are how many videos on YouTube, Dylan?
Like 1,800.
1,800 videos on the Cody Askins YouTube channel, and it's free content. For a new agent, I would start there. It costs you nothing, and you can learn a lot by just watching those videos and just following someone who you look up to. Find someone who's successful doing what you want to do and dive in head first and don't make excuses. So like I would say watch those videos and then find someone you want to be like and is doing what you want to do and learn from them. Learn everything and do exactly what they're doing. You know what I mean? If they're driving, you're driving. You know, if they're knocking on 20 doors, you are knocking on 20 doors. If they're setting 20 appointments a week, you're setting 20 appointments a week. You know what I mean? So I would just really mimic whoever is doing what you're doing, what you want to be doing as a new agent.
And that goes back to something that you said earlier, and my husband's always told me, surround yourself by those people you want to be.
Oh, absolutely. And that's not easy to do. Like, that is not easy to do because sometimes you have to let go of friends that you've had forever. But to get where you want to go, you grow and you change, and it's okay to not be best friends anymore. You know what I mean? That is okay. Do not feel bad for wanting to better yourself. I think there's too many people that feel bad for wanting to better themselves because they have to let this person go. Well, my best friend and I have been best friends since we were 16. We help push each other. If they're not helping you push and get better and they're letting you be stagnant, that's not a friend. Friends don't let friends be mediocre. There's too much mediocrity. Let's be great. Imagine if everyone was trying to be great in the insurance industry and just stop making excuses. Imagine the families that wouldn't have to go to bed because they lost a loved one and their loved one didn't have life insurance. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Said we're just, I'm too tired to make that last phone call. That one phone call could have saved that person. You know, life happens.
Yep.
Tragedies happen. And when you are mediocre and you're not trying to be great, you're honestly hurting other people because you're not doing your job. So Eric Thomas at 8% Nation said, do your job. You have one job. Do your job. Our one job is to sell life insurance or Medicare. Medicare, that person might not know that they can have Medicare that pays for everything on top of the 20%, So it covers the other 80. People don't know what they don't know. So that's where we come in to educate and make their life better.
And I think that's so important because there's so much out there that is very misleading.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Okay, so we have misleading information. How do we teach what is actually right? That comes from genuine. That comes from being genuine and coming from a good place, not being someone who you think you need to be. So that's where doing the right thing always pays off. Always.
I agree. A lot of people always ask, well, how does your husband do so much? And I'm like, because he's a good person.
Right.
He really wants to help others. He loves helping others. And he'll tell you, I'm not working. I'm enjoying life.
Right.
And I think it's finding that niche at what you said your strengths are. Like mine might not necessarily be selling, but it is making sure that my husband gets to succeed in his visions.
Exactly. I don't need to be, it's weird that I have my first workshop. It's weird to be asked to be interviewed and whatnot. I don't need to be the one in the limelight. I'm okay with him being great. I know my role. That was something that we had to learn the hard way. I know we had to learn to stay in each other's lanes. I know my lane, I stay in my lane, and I do great in my lane. So once you figure all that out, life just gets good.
Yes.
It gets good.
Absolutely. Well, Lauren, thank you so much for allowing this interview.
Yeah, thank you for having me. I look forward to getting to know you and Joshua so much better and growing our friendship. So thank you so much.
I feel like you're just such an inspiration.
Thank you. That is one of the best compliments. So thank you.